These are the Brum Tech Scene interviews. I'm Stuart Langridge and I'm here with Ian Acton, who's co-founder of Wander City here in Innovation Wharf, Farnham Wharf in Birmingham. Hi.
Hello.
So, first obvious question, what is Wander City?
Okay, Wander City. It's a way of enabling intelligent wandering. So we're trying to build an application which will help people be spontaneous and find things as they're moving around the city rather than having to plan before. And it's also about helping them to connect to things that they really love. So rather than giving them things that they don't particularly care about, we try and provide them with highly streamed content which actually fulfills things that they really care about. So,
I mean, there are a bunch of things which do this for particular kinds of stuff. So there's ideas and trails or whatever it's called at the library, which leads you around there.
Yep.
And people like Voucher Cloud consistently send me notes saying, hey, you're walking past Carluccio's, go in and have dinner.
Yeah.
But are you looking mainly to help people find things to buy or things to look at or things to do or what?
Okay, I think we're trying to connect them to things that they care about, and that might be a wide range of things. So what we've realised is that in context people are not always hungry. So to be honest with you, you might not always want to know about Carluccio's. So the app really should be able to respond to that. Now, obviously, we don't want to spam people, so it's important that you have control, and we give the users control. And we're building we have our own category structure, and we are building ways that we can kind of find out. I mean, we have a Facebook login, that's optional, but again, it's a way of helping people to connect to things that they actually really do like. But the in-context thing is really important. So if you're trying to relax, we're going to help you to find things that will help you achieve that objective. So it's more of an assistant to help you actually get the things that you want when you need them, rather than necessarily just spamming you things like voucher code might do. They don't have the intelligence built into their platform to be able to give you the things that you want. And what we're trying to do is build that intelligence in.
So it can know, for example, that you can't possibly want dinner because you've just been for dinner, and therefore you might want to take in a show or something like that.
Yeah, so we can obviously respond to things that people have just checked in for food, and then you're looking for ideas of what to do next. Then it's quite clearly it's not going to recommend that you go and find some food. But to start with, obviously, you will have if you're following certain categories, that will help you to shortcut the ways that you find content. So if you're following a category on parks, for example, I mean, you can have control and say, right, I'll look at my park feed, and that will, to do with things that are around you, to do with parks, it might be countryside walks or city walks or green, find leafy places, leafy parts of the city. So if that's what you're trying to achieve, then your feed will help you to do that. So we have 120 level 2 categories, and from the current tests we're doing with users, most people want to follow between 20 and 30. So it's about a quarter of our of the content. So 75% of the content that we have, people don't actually want to know about.
But that's exactly the point, that I choose the 25% that I'm interested in.
That's it. Yeah.
Me, I couldn't care less about parks, but I like bars, as an example.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So, as I understand it, the way organisations or places or whatever end up in your list is that's paid for service by them, yes? Okay,
so we're trying to leverage existing content. So to start with, we're going to be bringing APIs. So for example, at the moment, while we're in beta, we're using Foursquare API. Okay, we're using Google Maps, so that's to support on 2 levels in terms of a conventional mapping system that we can search through different places, but also you can navigate as well, and we can use all Google's kind of navigation and algorithms that work out distance and things between spaces. We can give you data on that as well. So if you've plotted a route, so one of the key features of Wander is that you can create waypoints really easily. So your content feed, you can actually build your own Wander, literally by just clicking on one click, and then you can edit that, and you can save it, you can share it. So what we're trying to do is enable people to create linking content together to actually create routes. So, for example, if you're sat in a taxi on your way somewhere, or you're in a cafe, you can actually plan your afternoon quite simply by clicking on a few waypoints.
Oh, right, no, I see how that would work then. Yeah, so you're building your own personalised view of the city, and you could then say to people, "Hey, I did this yesterday. Wasn't that good?" You got to build a story of how it works.
So you're building a story, but so just go back to the point about linking in APIs. So there's lots of content out there in terms of promotions. Now we're not obviously going to go to voucher code, but we'll go to promotion holes like Groupon, who actually own the promotion. So we'll feed their APIs in. But if you don't want Groupon deals, it's quite easy to turn it off. So you can we segment the kind of structure of things. You can look at all content feeds. You can look at just places. You can look at deals. You can look at just events, and you can look at just routes. So if you're currently just thinking, I need a route, I want someone to give me a plan that I've already done. If you look at the route feed, then basically you'll just get routes.
You're here in Birmingham, on the Science Park. Is this obviously what you're describing will work in any city anywhere?
Yes.
But are you initially targeting Birmingham as one of the test cities, or are you here but actually doing London? Or
so Birmingham will be our key place to launch.
Correct.
That
was the correct answer.
and there are obviously several reasons for that. We're based here. I know Birmingham. We've got lots of contacts and connections. Innovation Birmingham can help us with PR and promotion within Birmingham. But we're also we will be focusing on Birmingham in terms of filling data gaps. So, for example, at the moment we've got lots of content from Foursquare, as I've said, but there's data holes that we need filling. So we're offering a freemium model to merchants to be able to create a free profile. But then if they want to promote additional things, like standard promotion, an independent coffee place that may be running promotions, they can use our platform to promote those. They would have to pay a subscription now. So it's free to be found and free, but what's important is their hashtag profile. So once they create a hashtag profile, you can link specific propositions into what Stuart Language's profile is, or my profile, or whoever. And that's the way that we work now. Now, at the moment, Foursquare, and no one has that data. So we're going to build that data set up slowly so we can provide far more accurate proposition linkages between what you'll really like and actually what propositions are available.
Right, I see. And can I, as a user, add new venues, new locations to the thing, or do you prefer to pick them up from
a different existing source? So we've got a variety of different ways that we can get data, but then how it will work is if you add a venue to a route and they haven't given us that data, we will notify them. We'll send them a message to say people are adding you as waypoints. Take action, complete your profile, and so we'll be using that. And then after they've completed a profile, then obviously we'll be saying, look, people are still adding you. Do you want to add your promotions? And that's the point where they would obviously have to.
Right. So this is like Foursquare's original model before they went mad, where they would contact a venue and say, people are checking into your venue. Why not have someone be there? And
they don't need to actually check in. People could just be clicking on it as a favourite or exactly. as a waypoint. So just because someone's been added as a waypoint doesn't necessarily mean that people are actually going to go, but it's likely that they may be there. And the other thing we can do is we can also, because we're about wandering, we can also say people are maybe wandering by. Would you like to have more visibility?
Right, yeah. So alerting people to the fact that they happen to be going past and there is this going on. Yeah. And this ties into all the iBeacon and physical web stuff and things like that.
Yes, yeah. So, and again, the big problem with that is that you're going to spam people. We don't want to spam. That's one of the, if we're spamming people, then obviously we're not doing our job properly. So
excellent policy.
And that's the key thing that what I see with a lot of the iBeacon propositions is that it's all great, but as soon as you annoy the user, you're going to lose them, and they're just going to switch you off.
And kind of the first order approach seems to be people think, okay, I'll buy an iBeacon, I'll stick it outside my shop, and then everyone who walks past it will say, come in and buy this. At which point it lasts 5 minutes before someone tears it off the outside wall and throws it in the river. That definitely you want to avoid.
Absolutely. So, for example, some people get quite annoyed with Groupon and things like that, and we're saying, well, we're going to use Groupon because actually they have some really good things on there, but you're not going to see all of the things. You're only going to see to the things, or the hashtags that you want to see. And the other thing is, if you want to switch them on completely, you can. So, but at the same time, there is some valuable content on there.
Being a techie for a moment,
yeah.
You may not want to answer this question, but you've got, you said 120 second level categories, so you've got the Wonder City taxonomy of things.
Yeah.
Everyone else is going to have their own taxonomy of things.
Yeah.
How do you marry them up? Your answer might be,
actually that difficult.
That's our secret sauce, so I'm not telling you about it.
I mean, we have to marry things up, and that's a slightly tedious process, but it's important. So I think where we're going to have where we have issues is where we have partners maybe that we want to work with that haven't really got a very logical or useful structure to their data. Their data is just floating, and so if they have content that's just floating around without any structure, then that makes it harder for us to marry it up. Now, so what we'll do is we'll just say, well, we'll wait. We'll use other content providers that are more organised, and then if we feel there's still valuable content there and there's a gap, then we'll work with them to fill it.
And to some extent you have the advantage because you're only doing one city. I mean, Birmingham's big and there's a lot of stuff here, but there's not that much stuff.
No,
you could walk through and manually classify a whole bunch of it, which would be not only useful for Wonder City, but a useful service to mankind generally. To take a big list of things which are just called venues and write down what type of venue they are.
And I think that's the granularity we need to get to. So, for example, if you've got a cafe, the fact we need to know if they do breakfast. If they don't do breakfast and you're looking for breakfast, you don't want to go there. Okay, so fundamental things like marrying up what actually you want with actually what the proposition's there. So I don't want to connect you to a cafe that doesn't have breakfast when you're looking for breakfast.
I had precisely that experience in London on Saturday morning. So nicely chosen example. Why are you in Birmingham? It's not a complaint, to be clear. What made you set up here rather than somewhere else?
Well, I've been in Birmingham for 7 or 8 years. Love being here. I'm connected to the universities. It's a vibrant place, and I think it's on the up. There's lots of cool things going on here. If there wasn't, I'd be thinking I should be in London, and I'm not. I'm thinking I want to stay here, so I'm not itching to move on. Obviously, I do have some commitments here, but it's a great place, and Innovation Birmingham is a real hub of activity, and I'm getting great support here. The networking is fantastic. We've got people helping us solve little coding problems to understanding advice on investment plans and all those kind of things. It's really great.
You mentioned lots of stuff going on, and networking and so on. Who else is out there who you think I should talk to?
Well, I very well networked in here. There's a startup that we speak to all the time called Roompick, and they're a great company. They're now in a situation where they're starting to look for investment. So I think they're cool.
I saw them demonstrate an early version of the tool at one of the Tech Wednesday meetups. So I should go and talk to them, quite right. If people want to find out more about Wonder City, where do they go?
Okay, so Wonder.city. So we're not .com, we're a .city. One of those new subdomains. And go check us out there. We've got a closed beta testing program going on. But within, I would say, about a month, you'll be able to sign up and log in and start actually testing the application. We are going to be doing a month now of beta testing, so we've got users lined up to come in and use the test lab here, which is great. But we'll also be getting a bigger group, actually giving them specific tasks to go and find things in Birmingham, and letting them use the application and then feeding back to us. So then we're going to be rolling out a native Android and iOS app that we expect to be ready for May.
Okay, are we going to see it on the mobile web as well, or is it just native apps?
No, it'll be available on mobile web. So at the moment it's mobile web, so you can access it through your browser. We think that there's as many ways as you can access it as possible.
Excellent. And last question, What's your favourite biscuit?
Gotta be a dark chocolate digestive.
Dark chocolate.
Yeah, it has to be dark chocolate.
The classy choice.
Yeah.
Excellent. So
Okay.
thank you very much, Ian Acton of Wander City.
Thank you.